What I'm going to do is first show a couple of instances where the victim took his response to bullying too far. I think the only reason why the victim reacted this way was because of this whole no snitch thing that seems to be cutting across all cultures and classes, especially among children. So I'm going to roll both clips. One's going to be from a hood in Atlanta. The other one's going to be from some school. I think it's England, if I'm not mistaken. Just to show you that this has become a universal phenomenon. And then I'm going to come back and talk about, one, how you should handle it using martial arts principles, and rant a little bit about how, no matter what, when a person just lets things build up inside, if they're the victim, they end up looking like the bad guy. But I want to make it clear, I do not approve of how these victims responded to the situations. There are certainly much better ways. Let's take a look.
When you going to jail, what? You going to jail, what? What? I'm gonna put you in the
These niggas have fought, dude. You see the face?
An 8-year-old boy has been suspended from his South Morang primary school after threatening 2 classmates with a knife. The principal says the boy had been bullied, producing the knife in the playground. More from Dougal Beattie.
In a state of shock, too frightened to return to school.
The other boy told me that he was going to kill me and I was really afraid.
The girl's mother, whose daughter is accused of teasing the boy, says his 4-day suspension isn't good enough.
What happens if next time the teachers don't get there in time?
The incident occurred in the playground around 8:45 yesterday morning. Children saw the boy produce a knife and begin making threats to harm 2 of his female classmates. The students then informed a teacher who calmly removed the weapon from the child. Police were called to the school, destroying the steak knife similar to this one in front of the boy. Parents from the Lakes South Morang P9 school were informed of the incident via letter.
It's just turning like America, you know, where a child his age carrying a knife, that shouldn't be happening.
Others want security measures toughened.
If anything, this thing is going to escalate in time. I think we should scanners may be the way to go one day.
The principal says the boy will return under strict supervision, receive counselling and have his bag checked each day. She's also standing by the decision against an immediate expulsion.
Situation would be different if it was an older child or if it had been a repeated offence. It's a one-off.
Dougal Beattie, 9 News.
I don't mean to be cold, but look at how, especially in the second video, how the bullies are crying and acting like they don't know what happened. They don't know why he reached for a knife and threatened them. Now, I'm not saying I advocate what he did, but, I mean, let's be honest. They're not completely innocent, even though they're children. And that's one thing that physical technique cannot teach you to take on and even comprehend. You have to use the tenets to get around that. You have to have enough self-control and indomitable spirit to basically not be a sucker and fall for their little emotional and verbal antics and tactics. So that's pretty much all I can tell you. But what I want anybody looking at this video to realize is that this is Newton's third law again. You do something to somebody and they're going to react. You know, you say the wrong thing to somebody, they might hit you. It's not right. It's not how people should act, but it is how people do react. And sometimes when children have been complaining about bullies, and then none of the adults do anything about it, because we're talking about a child, and then you're going to have other people instigating and hyping the thing up. What's the child going to do? The child is going to reach for the thing they're going to make them feel the most powerful, a knife, and sadly, in some cases, a gun. And there's some other footage floating around on YouTube of this one kid. This was a teenager, brought 2 knives to school, swinging it at bullies, and ended up having to be shot by the cops. Do we really need for things to go that far? No, we don't. So let's get that indomitable spirit in there and that self-control. If you're a martial artist who's faced with this stuff, you don't need to reach for a knife. You already have a weapon. You have your hands, your feet, your knees, your elbows, other parts of your body. But really, your most important weapon is your mind. I prefer that you use your mind to find a way to defeat the bullies rather than trying to take things out with a physical technique or reaching for some kind of weapon.